everyone. So today we are going to start again with vocabularies. I've got more vocabularies for you, and I'm sure that the vocabularies that I've been giving you, you have been writing them down and practicing as well. And also not only the word meaning, you will also be learning the idioms and phrases also. Now let's move on to next sentences that I've gotten for you. The next sentence is infuriate. The next word is infuriate. So what infuriates me as a person is the lack of coordination between railways and buses. So something which is not right infuriates me. One more example I'm going to give you. Because Sam was late in the class, the teacher was very infuriated. The teacher was very infuriated when Sam reached the class late. So what is the meaning of infuriate over here? Yes, I think you have guessed it right. The meaning of infuriate means to get angry. The meaning of infuriate means to get angry. It infuriates me when I think about the terrorist attacks all over the world. I hope that is clear. Next, indolent. What is the meaning of indolent? It takes hours to an indolent person to do a simple task. So it is very, very easy. It takes hours to do a simple task for an indolent. Indolent means lazy. You should not be indolent. Indolent means lazy, inactive you can say. Next, the mushrooms look innocuous. The mushrooms look, whatever mushrooms were there, they looked innocuous but are in fact deadly. So the but is here, that means agar yahan pe we are talking about deadly here, which means they were not deadly but they were they were not innocuous but they were deadly. What is the meaning of innocuous here? Innocuous means harmless. Innocuous means harmless, right? They were not toxic, you can say. Toxic means harmful. Here the mushroom looked harmless but they were very deadly, alright. They were very, you can say, they could take lives of the people, that is why they were very, very deadly. Now let's move on to the 19th sentence. The principal, who is usually quiet and aloof, was loquacious. The principal, who was very quiet and aloof, was loquacious that afternoon. Principal was generally very quiet and aloof, but he was loquacious that afternoon. Now, what is the meaning of loquacious here? Just imagine, loquacious means, okay, one more example I am going to give you. The people who are extrovert are mostly loquacious. So, what is the meaning of loquacious here? Principal was quiet and aloof, that means he was very talkative that afternoon. So, the meaning of loquacious is talkative. So, people who are loquacious are mostly admired by the society, you can say. So, talkative, alright. Let's move on to the next sentence. The paucity of available data. So, this is the word here, paucity, right? The paucity of available data made it difficult for researchers. Okay, you must have heard this word, this DATA. Somewhere you might have heard this pronounced as data, and somewhere you might have heard them pronouncing data. So it is just about American and British English. So in British English this is known as data, and in American English it is known as data. But most of the people, we Indians follow British English, so we can call it a data, right? We can call it data. So the paucity of available data made it difficult for researchers to draw definite conclusions about the effectiveness of the new treatment. So whatever data was available, it was very difficult for researchers to draw a definite conclusion about the effectiveness of the new treatment. So the data, do you think the data was sufficient? No, the data was not sufficient for the researchers to come to a conclusion. That is why the meaning of paucity is scarcity, right? So we can say scarcity of water, you can say paucity of water, it is one and the same thing. So scarcity of water, shortage of water, paucity of water, shortage of water. So paucity means scarcity of something, alright. Next sentence is, the scientist's explanation of the complex theory was remarkably perspicuous, making it easy for everyone to understand. So let's understand the sentence here. The scientist's explanation, there was a complex theory, alright, there was a complex theory, and the scientists, they were remarkably perspicuous and it was easy for others to understand. So they were remarkably perspicuous regarding the complex theory, and it was easy for them, for the rest of the people to understand. So the meaning of perspicuous is clearly expressed and easily understood. So the meaning of this is clearly expressed and easily understood. Something which is very clear, easily understood is perspicuous. Alright. Now the next sentence we have is, the old woman known for her pious nature spent her days praying and helping others. So the old woman, I had given you one example in the past regarding pious. I said that my grandmother is a very pious lady. She always helps others. So what is the meaning of pious here? Pious means very religious person, devoutly religious person. Okay, a person who is devoutly religious is a pious person. I hope that is clear. And there was example of opposite of pious, which was impious, you can say, which is not religious. Now the 23rd sentence I have for you is, he has a few nebulous ideas about what he might want to do in the future, but nothing definite. So you can say he has some nebulous ideas, but nothing is definite. Maybe he is not sure, okay, maybe he is not sure what does he want to do in the future, but he has some nebulous ideas. What is the meaning of nebulous? Nebulous means something which is not clear, which is vague. So not clear and vague is nebulous. Alright. So nebulous, I am not too sure, I am nebulous about my career. So nebulous means not clear, vague. Okay, sentence number 24. When Mohit forgot to do his homework, he tried to come up with a plausible excuse his teacher would believe. When Mohit forgot his homework, so this guy, he forgot his homework, and now he thought of a reason which was plausible to the teacher, which the teacher would buy it, and the excuse that the teacher would buy for not getting his homework to school. So what is the meaning of plausible? So plausible means over here is that reasonable and likely to be true. So for example, you cannot say that I did my homework but it all disappeared. That is very implausible response, right? Very implausible reason. So I cannot say that I did my homework but at night it all disappeared. That is very implausible. Plausible means reasonable. So you could have said something reasonable. So what could be the possibility? So that is plausible. Okay. Now 25th sentence. He made a pragmatic decision to settle the lawsuit because in the end it would cost more to try it in the court. Now there was some kind of court case was going on, I think some kind of court case was going on, and they decided to have a pragmatic approach, right? So this is also a kind of approach, pragmatic approach. So they thought of having a pragmatic approach and come to a decision, alright, but because it would cost more in the court, alright. So they wanted to come to a pragmatic means practical and sensible, alright. So they decided that rather than wasting so much money in the court, let's come to a common conclusion, let's come to a common decision, and then let's end up this matter. That is pragmatic approach. You must have a pragmatic approach to solve any kind of problem. I hope that is clear. Now with that, let's move on to 26, sentence number 26. So the prodigal son, after years of reckless, what is the meaning of reckless here? Reckless can be used for driving also. I mean, this is just an example. For example, I would say that the boy, because of his reckless driving, hit a pole. So reckless driving, and over here reckless means careless. Okay, so I would say the prodigal son, after years of reckless spending, returned home humbled and ready to make amends, ready to make changes in him. So here the prodigal son, after years of careless spending, returned home humbly, and he said that okay, I am ready to make changes in myself because money has finished now. Why the money has finished? Because he has been spending recklessly. And why he has been spending recklessly? Because he was a prodigal. What is the meaning of prodigal? Prodigal means extravagant, spendthrift, right? Next, 27. The huntsman standing in the hollow moved ahead and saw a queer animal going across the field. So huntsman means hunter. So the hunter, he was standing in a hollow. Hollow means he was hiding. The huntsman means hunter. Alright, hunter, he was standing somewhere, he was hiding somewhere. He moved ahead, and what did he see? He saw a very queer animal. Queer means maybe he has not seen that animal before, or maybe he was not able to understand what animal is this. So what is the meaning of queer? Queer means strange, odd, bizarre. You can also say bizarre. Alright, bizarre. Sometimes you can use the word grotesque also. Grotesque also means very odd. So here all these are the synonyms of the word queer. Queer means strange. I saw a queer incident. I saw a queer animal. Alright, I saw a queer, I came across a very queer movie. So queer means very strange, very odd. Now 28. Facing adversity can be salutary experience. Facing adversity can be a salutary experience, teaching lessons about resilience. You know what is the meaning of resilience here? Again, resilience means lot of patience. Alright, so facing any kind of opposite situation can be salutary experience which teaches us lessons about patience, about resilience. So the meaning of salutary is beneficial. The meaning of salutary is beneficial. Alright, so the facing adversity can be beneficial experience which teaches us about lessons of resilience. I hope that is clear. Now let's move on to question sentence number 29. The word is surreptitiously. Surreptitiously. So understand the pronunciation, surreptitiously. So after it surreptitiously installs itself on a user's phone, the spyware program can steal the credit card details. Now this is very much prevalent these days. So there are some kinds of spams or apps. What do? They install themselves on our phones. So after it surreptitiously installs, it means the thing that we are talking about. After it surreptitiously installs itself on the user's phone, it installs itself on the user's phone, and what happens that the spyware can steal our credit card information. So what is this? Surreptitiously means, the meaning of surreptitiously is in a very secret way. The meaning of surreptitiously is secret. Alright. Now, so secretly the app, the spam, what does it do? It gets installed on our phone without our knowledge and then steals our details, our bank details, our credit card details. I hope that's clear. Now 30th sentence. They were concerned about the ubiquitous presence of closed circuit TV elsewhere. They were concerned. The CCTV was everywhere, and they were concerned about the ubiquitous presence. What is the meaning of ubiquitous? Now it is said that it is present everywhere. So ubiquitous means found, which is something which is found everywhere. Alright. So these are the 15 sentences I have given to you, 15 words I have given to you. Hope you will practice them as usual. Do practice them because I get the words from the previous year's question papers also. So do practice them and do subscribe to Sandeep Sir Doon Defense Academy's channel. That's all for now. Bye-bye.
Kindly subscribe DDA YouTube channel and don't forget to press bell icon.